In today's world, divorce is much more common, sad to say. Many young people rush into matrimony only to realize the rose petals fall off during the winter months. And many don't have the fortitude or commitment to stick it out. Or simply, there wasn't anything solid to begin with. Whether you're a child from a divorced home, been through a divorce yourself, or know someone who has, you know it can get ugly and emotional. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. With that being said, I'm your host, Jamie, and here are 10 emotional films about divorce. Number 1, A Marriage Story. A Marriage Story is a grounded, thoughtful account of how a marriage can end up in divorce. If that seems like a spoiler, it's not, because this film is a powerful character drama about the journey from a loving marriage to a bittersweet divorce. Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver play Nicole and Charlie Barber, a married couple who find that they are moving in different directions in life and philosophy. Director Noah Baumbach handles this story attentively, crafting dynamic characters who are only further elevated by powerful performances from the ensemble. Charlie is a stage director and his wife is an actress. So they're in this theme about the toggle between the artistic and the commercial. A Marriage Story displays the pros and cons of both art and commercial and how they do not have to be mutually exclusive. What I find particularly interesting about that motif, as well as the character dynamic, is that Baumbach was dating and is now married to Greta Gerwig. You may know Gerwig as the acclaimed director of Lady Bird, as well as, most recently, the cultural and box office phenomenon, Barbie. Greta Gerwig started out as an actress. While A Marriage Story has never been said to be based on the relationship between Baumbach and Gerwig, I'm sure the authenticity that rang throughout the film was inspired by some personal events in Noah Baumbach's life. Make sure to check this out over on Netflix. Number 2, Kramer vs. Kramer. There's a reason Kramer vs. Kramer won Best Picture in 1979. Dustin Hoffman plays Tom Kramer. His wife Joanna Kramer is played by Meryl Streep. Both Hoffman and Streep are considered some of the best actresses of all time. Their emotional performances for Kramer vs. Kramer garnered them Academy Awards. The film hits the ground running as Tom comes home one night and Joanna tells him she's leaving him. Kramer vs. Kramer focuses on the father's side of the story and how he is coping with the split as a single parent with a high-powered job. That's right, the Kramers have a young child, and his name is Billy. Sadly, Joanna does not think she's good for her young son. Kramer vs. Kramer is a deeply moving, well-structured, and smoothly paced narrative. It demonizes no one and tries to understand all sides. Kramer vs. Kramer is all in all a great film, and I recommend checking it out on Sling, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 3, Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire holds a special place in the hearts of many a millennial, as it stars the man who brought us so much joy to our childhoods, the light comedy legend Robin Williams. Williams was a brilliant stand-up comedian and could improv like no other. His ability to craft childlike joy, as well as deep belly laughs, was unprecedented. Everyone who's seen Mrs. Doubtfire know about the antics of Robin Williams' character, Daniel Hillard, dressing up as an elderly British nanny in order to be more present in his children's lives. Those who watched Mrs. Doubtfire as children may have overlooked how the film tries to explore the nature of divorce and the inconceivability stupid things one might do to see their children and or get back together with their ex. Mrs. Doubtfire certainly exemplifies how a split can get so devastating and messy. One just has to laugh. The film also provides a sort of wish fulfillment. Director Christopher Columbus creates sympathy for all parties involved. Mrs. Doubtfire was its own form of therapy when therapy was still taboo. The literal message is how much you can learn, just on a human level, if you quite literally live in someone else's shoes, even if you made upset somebody. So enjoy this story over on Hulu, Disney Plus, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 4, The First Wives Club. I saw The First Wives Club when I was in middle school, several years after its release. I was stuck in a hotel room sick on a family vacation. I actually had a good time with the film though. The story isn't special, but the cast is. The ensemble makes this film. Comedic icons Bette Midler, Goldie Hawn, and Diane Keaton all play off each other so well as divorcees who have sworn vengeance on their exes. The cast energy and the charisma as well as the humor keep the flick afloat. The First Wives Club undoubtedly reflected in its own way girl power of the 90s. Relationships are complicated, but it is more important that women bond and support one another. And I don't mean just to rally against the opposite sex either. So take some time to check this out on Pluto, MGM Plus, Prime, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Fubo, Sling, Roku, Philo, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 5, The Story of Us. 1999's The Story of Us might be one of the weaker entries on the list due to a cliche-ridden narrative, but the leads are exceptional and that's what ultimately makes this film. Bruce Willis and Michelle Pfeiffer played a married couple, Ben and Kate, taking a retrospective on their rocky relationship. The Story of Us has Ben and Kate each individually narrating their own perspective on their relationship. I personally quite appreciated this approach. Pfeiffer and Willis infused the film with much needed pathos, enabling the audience to let their guard down and really feel for them. The humor-laced script really helps counter the melodrama too. My personal favorite thing about the film is all the guest star encounters that act as Ben and Kate, confidant or comic relief. But you can check it out over on Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango and let me know what you think.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope that you're enjoying all of our content. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. If you want to support us even further, there are numerous ways. First, check out fatninja.shop, our very own merch store where we sell t-shirts, hoodies, hats, shoes, and more, featuring our logo and other designs. You can also join our Patreon, linked in the video description. Last but not least, we have officially launched the YouTube membership program. At only $4.99 a month, you'll get access to our monthly newsletter featuring reviews, previews, and exclusive behind-the-scenes information about our upcoming projects and videos. You also get a nifty little badge and special emojis that you can use during our upcoming live stream chats. And if you're a member of our Discord channel, you'll get access to a special role which gives you even better access to the Fat Ninja staff and the chance to enter a monthly prize drawing as well as a shout out at the end of our videos. The prize drawings will only begin once we have reached our goal of 50 members. Finally, you'll also be gifted a special coupon code good for 20% off any item from our store. We appreciate each and every one of you and are incredibly thankful for your support. Each new subscriber and member helps us achieve our goals and keeps us motivated to create new content each week. Thanks again. Take care.
Number 6, Barefoot in the Park. The 1967 rom-com classic Barefoot in the Park stars screen legends Robert Redford and Jane Fonda. The two stars ignite the screen with unrelenting chemistry and sublime performances. The pair play a newly married couple with diametrically opposed personalities who just moved to a 5th-floor apartment. That's important because one of the running jokes is about the amount of stairs in said building. Fonda plays a progressive, free spirit, and Redford, a stuffy lawyer. An on-screen couple playing personalities that clash is nothing new, not even over 50 years ago. But done well, it is ripe with comedic potential. In the 60s, their archetypes were certainly prevalent. Barefoot in the Park is a highly entertaining, clever, and briskly paced romantic comedy. The film is mediation on how two very different people can manage being married to one another. Barefoot in the Park introduces a slew of quirky characters along the way that provide comic relief, but also act as outside sources that test the newlyweds' feelings for one another. Check it out on Pluto, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 7, Husbands and Wives. Though he's problematic now, it doesn't change the fact that Woody Allen is one of the best and most decorated screenwriters in history, having won 3 Academy Awards for screenwriting alone and receiving an astonishing 16 nominations. To put that in perspective, the second most nominations in the category is the now deceased Italian neorealist filmmaker Federico Fellini, with 6 nominations. One of Allen's 16 Best Screenplay nominations was for the 1992 character drama Husbands and Wives. Real-life married couple, Woody Allen and Mia Farrow play a married couple, Gabe and Judy, whose married couple friends get a divorce. This causes Gabe and Judy to re-examine their own marriage. Exploring the sundry of relationship dynamics is a prominent theme amidst Woody Allen's filmography. He's constantly examining the various nuances in relationships, shifting a narrative or character element or two, and drawing slightly different conclusions as they play out. In the case of Husbands and Wives, it was one of Allen's better films as it is authentically sentimental, and he is thoughtfully exploring the quirks of marriage. It probably helped that Farrow and Allen were married at the time, and the story may have been a deeply personal narrative as they did eventually separate in real life. You can see this story over on Google Play, Prime, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 8. An Unmarried Woman. 1978's An Unmarried Woman follows Erica Benton, played poignantly by Jill Clayborne, as she deals with divorce. Erica lives a fairly ordinary, albeit somewhat privileged and subdued life, so the divorce comes as somewhat of a shock to her. An Unmarried Woman is a thoughtful exploration of divorce. The humor arises organically, generally taking a backseat to the drama, despite the film being labeled as a romantic comedy. The drama itself is far more carefully executed than many films of the genre. Erica goes through unexaggerated ups and downs of a divorce. An Unmarried Woman's story is character-driven and focuses on the wife's dilemma. Conflict arises genuinely, and Erica's arc progresses naturally throughout the narrative. It is understandable why An Unmarried Woman was nominated for Best Screenplay in 1978. The film also feels like one of the last hurrahs for the second wave of feminism before Reagan-era politics set the movement back. An Unmarried Woman reflects the decade that gave us other iconic, smart, progressive media like The Mary Tyler Moore Show. But you can check out this film over on Apple TV. Number 9. Waiting to Exhale. Waiting to Exhale is certainly a piece of 90s Americana. It's based off Terry McMillan's 1992 New York Times bestseller. Its soundtrack was produced by Babyface, featuring chart-topping 90s R&B song Exhale by Whitney Houston, who also stars in the film. I only recently watched this film, but the song was definitely a defining one of my 90s experience. Waiting to Exhale is a thoroughly enjoyable, very theatrical relationship drama. The sublime performances, particularly from screen queen Angela Bassett, ground the narrative as it follows the relationships of 4 different women. Each woman deals primarily with the cons of marriage and relationship. Each character fits an archetype. You have a housewife, career woman, romantic, and then the more promiscuous one. The film isn't hollow though, nor does it shame any of these character types. It finds nuance and overlaps within its examination of all the relationship tropes. If I had to say something negative about Waiting to Exhale, it would be that it is uneven and examines certain points more thoroughly. It also wraps everything up in a nice bow, which feels too convenient for anyone who's a more seasoned moviegoer. Regardless, it's still a good time, so make sure to check it out over on Tubi, Hulu, Disney Plus, Sling, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 10. Heartburn. Before I was tasked with this list, I hadn't even heard of the film Heartburn, although I'm quite familiar with that feeling. Luckily, the film is far more pleasant than that. but I'll admit I was a bit disappointed considering the film teamed up Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep, with Michael Nichols writing and directing. Nichols is more known for his coming-of-age classic, The Graduate. Heartburn has Streep and Nicholson playing newlyweds, Rachel Samsat and Mark Foreman. Rachel is meek and mild-mannered. Mark is temperamental and high society. The character archetypes should feel pretty familiar for the genre, and Heartburn doesn't do much to deviate from the formula. Luckily, Nichols' signature humor is imbued in the script, although the real highlight of the film is the spectacular cast, which also includes Jeff Daniels, Stockard Channing, and Catherine O'Hara. Heartburn explores the impact infidelity has on a marriage. It also attacks high society's inherent shallowness when it comes to relationships in particular. Ultimately, the film is worth a watch for Streep and Nicholson alone, so be sure to check it out over on Pluto, Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango, or Prime. Thanks for checking out the video. Did we leave any films off the list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tap that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X at StudiosFat, or chat with us on Discord, linked below. If you're really enjoying our content and want to help support us, click that join button for exclusive content, rewards, and perks. Make sure to check out our very own merch store located at fatninja.shop. All proceeds go towards our next film project, so we'd greatly appreciate it. I've been your host, Jamie. Thanks again. See you in the next one.